everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the Trinity. I'm sorry, the Jezebelle Trinity podcast. I'm your host, Trinity Stella, and welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it very much. I'm grateful for you guys. So, sorry I'm late. I apologize for being late. I was kind of wondering what to share about exactly tonight. I've been focusing, I feel like everything's kind of been going good at a good momentum. Things have been at a good momentum, and I want to keep that momentum. So, how do you keep the momentum going when the world around you seems a little chaotic? So how do you keep that inner peace and without spiraling with the chaos around you? So without letting your thoughts or sinking back into getting stuck, not wanting to leave, isolating. How do you step outside of that and still engage with the world and stay connected to the people around you, to stay connected to Mother Nature, Mother Earth, Spirit, the mind, body, and spirit, balance? I guess, how do we balance? How do you balance your mind? How do you balance your body? And how do you balance your spirit so you're in sync without getting distracted with world events and or the chaos of drama? How do you stay aligned with yourself? And there's three separate body, mind, and spirit, staying balanced with the elements of yourself. So how do you keep your mind balanced? Is being aware. So being aware, first of all, and figuring out what is out of balance. So how do you become aware? How do you become aware of self and being out of balance? And how do you balance yourself? I'm just so 3 tips. Last minute kind of putting something together. Because I've heard myself, I don't really stay engaged with news. I'm kind of focused on what step I'm taking forward, what's my next forward step, and focusing on that, because I don't have control over people, places, and things. The only thing that you have control over is your choices, your thoughts, your behaviors, and emotions. So listen to your inner signals. You're out of balance when your body, mind, or spirit starts sending little alerts. Are you tired? Are you irritated? Do you feel disconnected? Are you overthinking? Or even your intuition saying something's feeling a little off? Your spirit doesn't ever whisper for no reason. It's trying to tell you something. So how do you listen to that? It's calming your body. Notice your patterns. Balance slips when you find yourself reacting instead of responding, hustling without resting, or pouring into everyone else and leaving your own cup empty. Awareness is catching patterns in real time instead of weeks later and thinking, oh, okay, that's what was going on. If you even catch it, it takes practice. I'm always saying it, everything takes practice, and you get better at it the more you practice it. So, and then you can check your alignment. Ask yourself, are my daily actions lining up with my values and my purpose? If the answer is no, Spirit is showing you where you've drifted. For example, I feel like personally, I've been feeling a little off, like something's not right. Tonight, it was very hard for me to, go do the things that I like to do. Um, like going to the Y. It was hard to leave the house, and but I knew that once I did force myself to get up and go get my body in balance, that I would probably feel better. And I do, and I'm glad I went and came back. So yeah, so being aware of self and how to balance the self. Grounding is important. Grounding yourself. And how do you do that? Slowing down, staying in the present moment. Time traveling. I'm always talking about time traveling, worrying about what's going to happen, predicting the future, always stuck in the things that haven't happened yet. You're thinking that this is going to happen yet. Or you're worried about what has happened in the past. Like, oh, I shouldn't have did that, or I should have did this. Oh, I should have went to the Y. Worrying about what shoulda, coulda, woulda. And worrying about shoulda, coulda, woulda in the future takes you away from being present with yourself in the moment, missing these moments. That's how you miss the moments that seem to slip away. I remember feeling like that, and wondering, questioning myself, how do I stay in the moment? Why is it that when good things happen, like graduations, birthdays, holidays happen, and it's a good feeling, but I feel like when I reflect on it, I feel like I've missed it. I wasn't fully there. I wasn't fully present because I was always worrying about what hadn't happened yet, or worrying about what I did. So it takes away from that present moment. So in order to stay in the present, you stay grounded. Stay in the present, stay grounded. And how do you stay grounded? Prayer, power in prayer. I so believe in power in prayer. Meditation. Just taking a couple minutes. And I'm gonna meditate with you guys just for a minute or so tonight. To breathe, connect. I really believe that even though that we are not next to each other, that we still can connect. We connect through this podcast, and that's what I love about this, is connecting with others through a podcast, through a video, because somebody put it into a good metaphor for me before, like the electricity in your house, the lights work, the computer works, everything works, but you don't see the electricity that flows through that house. It's all in the walls, it's in the wires. You don't see the electric currents that causes these lights to work, that causes our our electronics to work, our cell phones. We don't see how they work or what connects to our phones, but they still work. It connects us to each other, and that's how I kind of see our spirits, our connections with one another. We can still connect even though we're not in the same room. And also, journaling helps staying grounded. Write your thoughts down about where you're at today, how you're feeling, and be honest. And if you're afraid that somebody's going to read what you write, keep it about you. Don't, I suggest not writing about people, places, or things, but keep your journaling about you, how you felt, how you experienced the day, your thoughts, your behaviors. You don't need to put names in your journal or say so and so did this or that. Just focus on you while you're journaling, and that helps you become aware of yourself. Keeps you rooted. Rituals remind you to slow down and reset. Okay. Another way to balance yourself is return to the body. Balance isn't just spiritual, it's physical. Drink lots of water. Rest. If you're tired, rest and breathe. You don't have to meditate to breathe. Every breath that we take is life. If we weren't able to breathe, we wouldn't be able to be living right now. And stretch. Oh my God, this is a big one. Like stretching in the morning. I For a little while I was doing some yoga, and oh my God, I felt so good getting up and doing some yoga, doing the stretches, stretching out my muscles, getting ready for the day. But I quit. Honestly, I quit, and I'm feeling a little, like I need to get back to that. So that's kind of a good idea for myself. And because if your host, your temple is neglected, balance will always be a little shaky. So be aware. And another way to balance self is reclaiming your boundaries, maintaining your boundaries, um, balancing can mean saying no to chaos, to toxic relationships, to overcommitting yourself. Protecting your peace is honoring your spirit within you. Like I said, as your house, your home, your body, mind, and your spirit, protecting that, keeping your boundaries, and not feeling like you're obligated to make others feel comfortable. This is your life and how you live, and it's for you. You're not here to make others feel comfortable. And if that makes them uncomfortable, that you're being comfortable, that it's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable feeling, but once you start being more, I guess, gaining more strength from protecting yourself and maintaining your boundaries, even if you don't have any boundaries, you can starting is somewhere. And the work that you put in to set boundaries and maintain them, the work you put into it, the more you want to protect that work that you put into creating boundaries. Because it's a lot of work. Practice, practice, practice. And all that work, you'll start to realize that the people that want to infiltrate your boundaries aren't worth all the work that you put into it. It's like going to a job and putting in that work and getting paid for that day and then borrowing that money out for that day. Hey, can I borrow, say you work 8 hours, $10 an hour, you made $80, or yeah, $80. And somebody said, hey, I need $80. Are you gonna give them that $80 for all that work you did? I would hope not. But depending on situations, so yeah. Staying in balance, being aware of self is important today, just because personally I'm feeling like something's a little off, and I need to do some checking in with myself here. And I hope this helps you also to check in with yourself, to be aware of where your mind's at, to be aware of where your body's at, to listen to your body. Does it need rest? Does it need to eat? Does it need to stretch, exercise, or, just being aware of your body and your spirit? Don't forget about your spirit. Spirit is our connection to for grounding ourselves, to ourselves and to each other. And that's very important too. Don't ignore your spirit. So, awareness comes when we listen, balance comes when we act on what we've heard. On what we've heard. Spirit never leaves us, it waits for us to realign. And that's what I have for this evening. And I hope you guys all have a good night. And I appreciate you for walking with me on this journey. And I walk with you and I support you. And I hope you're doing well out there, being kind, being safe, being respectful, and showing compassion for one another, because we are all going through something. Nobody knows why we make the decisions we do except for us and the higher up. So, and that's a personal choice, and that's a personal, private matter that you don't have to share with other people. So you don't have to over explain yourself for why you've done the things that you've done. Coming to understand yourself and love yourself for who you are, and that's what matters. And when you learn to love yourself, you can give love to others and share love. And we are coming together. We are rising. We are rising together because we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are shifting the paradigm. We are building something new. We are trailblazers. We are. I am, you are. All right, guys. You all have a good night. Peace, love, and 100% respect. Miigwech, thank you for walking with me, and I see you. And be kind to one another. All right, Gigawabamin. That means see you later in Ojibwe. We do not say goodbye. We say Gigawabamin. See you later. All right, guys, you have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, and I promise I will have something more structured and ready to go. And if you want to join the conversation, I'm always going to post a link here to copy and paste to your browser, join conversation. If there's something you wanted to share, talk about, put in comments and hit the like button. I'm trying to reach more people that are on the same path that we are, as we are coming together, showing support, growing in movement and our journeys and coming together. But yes. So hopefully, yes, I will be on time tomorrow. All right, guys, I love you. Have a good night. Miigwech.